What's going on, guys? It's your boy Boxing Lowdown, and I'm back here with another video. Now, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Feel free to drop a comment if you like, and I'll happily get back to you. Now, I just wanted to do a video just sharing my thoughts over some of the weekend's action, if you want to call it that. But in where was it, Florida, I believe it was, Evander Holyfield stepping in for Oscar De La Hoya to take on Victor Belfort. Evander Holyfield, who's 58 years old, stepping in for Oscar De La Hoya, who's about 46, 47, something like that. De La Hoya caught COVID, so best wishes to him. He caught COVID, so he had to pull out of the fight. And Evander Holyfield, of all people, stepped in. Now, he's been chasing the fight with Mike Tyson for however long, wanting to get him in an exhibition bout. Holyfield is just absolutely obsessed with Mike Tyson, by the way, but that's a whole nother story. And yeah, he wanted a third fight with Mike Tyson. Didn't come round to it, didn't happen. He steps in for De La Hoya to take on Victor Belfort. I didn't stay up to watch it or anything like that, but I did see the highlights the next day and I posted it on my socials actually. But yeah, just watching it, man. I mean, watching it, really, could we have predicted anything else after seeing how Holyfield looked on the pads a few days before, how we saw him shadow boxing? He clearly doesn't really, his speech and everything else is going. It was embarrassing for this whole event, to be fair. And Triller are really putting on some embarrassing content, do you know what I mean? Like this was embarrassing, do you know what I mean? The whole, like, having Holyfield fighting Belfort, who I later on found out was a convicted drugs cheat in MMA. I think he was a known user of drugs when he was doing MMA back in his day. He's fighting Evander Holyfield. You've got Donald Trump on the commentary. You've got, it's just, it's comical, really. You've got David Haye on the undercard fighting his mate, trying to pass it off as an actual fight when it's just two guys trying to make money. This is not what we're here for boxing for, man. This is not what boxing's about. But listen, Triller is another platform. They're doing things differently and it's got an audience. So if it's got an audience and it's making money, we can moan about it all we want, but it's going to continue. So for me, yeah, just not really good at all. Holyfield was blown out in the first round. He was dropped and then he was stopped. I think he was dropped once or twice, I think it was. And then he was stopped on his feet after he wasn't fighting back after being punched. To be fair, some of those punches didn't all connect on Holyfield, but I wasn't really moaning about the stoppage when I saw it. I mean, because he shouldn't have been in the ring anyway. So yeah, it was just really a bit of a shambles, shall I say. What happens now, I don't know. Will Holyfield fight again? I wouldn't put it past him, to be honest. I wouldn't put it past him at all. He's just got that warrior spirit in him. He will continue, he'll want to fight. I think he did an interview afterwards where he was saying that, he felt that it was stopped too early. And yeah, don't be surprised if you see Holyfield back in the ring, even at his age now. It was an exhibition fight. It wasn't an actual real fight, so to speak. It obviously won't go on his record, his amazing record that he compiled as a fighter. But Holyfield's been done for years, man. He's been done for years. Like, years he's been done for. He's 58 now. He was fighting up until his early 40s. And he was done then, obviously in his early 40s. He was long done. And I remember I think it was the New York State Athletic Commission, or one of those commissions, withdrew Holyfield's license from him because he wasn't competitive in fights anymore. He was just losing all the time. And they were worried for his health. So they took away his license back then. That was 17 years ago when they withdrew his license. And then 17 years later, he's out here fighting again. Apparently, they tried to get the fight in Nevada because that's where the fight was going to take place, in Las Vegas. They said, no, we're not going to give him a license. So they had to move the whole show to Florida to save it. Triller did. Just goes to show, man, how bad things are when you're literally looking for someone to sanction this fight. And Florida, they went ahead with it. So yeah, not really much else to report. Holyfield just, totally out of his depth. And, even against somebody like Victor Belfort, who's not even a boxer, he's an MMA fighter. Yeah, it was just embarrassing all round. And, that's all that needs to be said about that. As for the undercard, David Haye taking on Joe Fournier, I didn't even watch this, to be fair. So I'm not going to pretend that I didn't know what happened. But, well, I do know the result, but I didn't actually follow the fight. David Haye won it on points, I believe, 8 rounds. I think it was 8 2-minute rounds. And afterwards, that's what everybody was talking about. Afterwards, he called out Tyson Fury. Now, it's really like, nobody could believe it, really. Like, it's just like, when you hear about boxing nowadays, it's just so many just so many things going on where you're just like, did that actually happen? Like, it's not even surprising anymore. David Haye calling out Tyson Fury, believing that he'll beat him. I mean, these two were supposed to fight back in 2013. David Haye pulled out twice due to injury. And now he's calling out Fury. Fury's obviously fighting Wilder in October. And he's already compiled his hit list of guys that he wants to fight. But I wouldn't be surprised if Tyson Fury looks at this as an easy money grab and will go for David Haye. I mean, because that's what it is right now. It's an easy money grab for Tyson Fury should he fight David Haye. I mean, it's just ridiculous, really. But I could see him doing it. I could see Tyson Fury saying, you know what? I'll take you as a tune-up fight. You know what I mean? Like, I could see that happening. I don't know if he's responded yet to what David Haye is saying. But, yeah, David Haye's about 42 now. His body, I mean, he still looks in tremendous shape. Do you know what I mean? He is in tremendous shape. But in terms of being fighting fit, it's all good going like 8 2-minute rounds against somebody like Joe Fournier, who's not a boxer, then going up against the #1 heavyweight in the world in Tyson Fury. So, yeah, it's just all a pipe dream, really. But, you know, this is boxing in 2021. I wouldn't be surprised if we see it. Do you know what I mean? So, just my thoughts on it all, man. I know Oscar Valdez fought at the weekend as well. The less said about that, the better. I didn't even really want to cover that fight. But, yeah, you know, boxing will get better, I believe. I know I've been very negative over the last few weeks, but we do have AJ and Usyk to look forward to in a couple of weeks' time. That's going to be a very good show. I'm even looking forward to Fury and Wilder if that happens. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's going to be good. You've got Canelo and Caleb Plant happening. We've got Crawford and Porter that's going to purse bids. So things are on the up, man. But let me know what you guys think anyway, man. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll catch you on the next video.